Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people right now are caught up in the fact that Bitcoin has jumped its prior all-time high, which sat at $109,000 on January 20th. It is now at $111,000, and we are at the highest price point that Bitcoin has ever been on a USDT basis. Absolutely exceptional to see. However, just because Bitcoin's at all-time highs, it doesn't mean everything's in the clear. And that's what we need to discuss today. Unfortunately, we're not fully over the hurdles that we need to be over yet on Bitcoin. There's still a few more things we need to do before we can start that next leg upwards, which I, by the way, think will take us to around 130,000 US dollars. And that's something we'll discuss when we do jump those hurdles. I think in this video we'll keep that out of the content here today, but just to not complicate it and convolate the video, we want to keep this clear and concise. So what we've got here today is an analysis of what's happened on Bitcoin, as well as diving into what remains, what hurdles remain, because we've done some good stuff here. We've broken above this very major 14-year ascending resistance line, which we'll look into. We've broken below the USDT chart dominance line, which actually marked the Bitcoin top in 2021 on 2 occasions. It's reverse correlated to Bitcoin. So that's very, very good to see. But we still have resistance on the total 3. We still have resistance on the DXY, and we still have resistance on the Ethereum chart, as well as still finding resistance from the top of our macro range on Bitcoin. Even though we've broken the all-time high, the macro range itself is not broken. So we're not quite in the clear yet. However, we're looking quite good. So we'll discuss these hurdles today, and we'll discuss what needs to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled by the price. Structure is more important. Before we get into it today, guys, we have an exchange here that has never been hacked before in 3.5 years of being on the market. That is global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world and use this exchange without a VPN. And furthermore, with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life, as well as $8,000 plus USDT in trading rewards added to your account as trading bonuses for signing up with my referral link down below. This is big stuff here. It's an excellent deal. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. I don't get paid by them. The only thing I get is a referral link. And if you want all those things I just mentioned, which you should, trust me, I've done the scouting of the market, you can use my link down below to sign up. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get those rewards and bonuses, and you'll help out the channel. I appreciate that, guys. Let's get into the content. Just like I said in the introduction of this video, I really want to repeat it because it's very important to understand. Price means nothing in comparison to structure. What is the structure on Bitcoin? It's very important to understand what the structure is. The structure on Bitcoin right now comes in the form of this yellow macro range, right? The macro range that exists between these 2 diagonal yellow lines, okay? It held the support for months on end back here. We broke below it briefly in structure of a descending wedge formation, broke above that wedge formation, and got back between these yellow lines. We have flipped these yellow lines for support once more, and hence these yellow lines define and characterize the macro range we're in currently. They're not just random lines, okay? They stem backwards from 2017, the bull market top in 2017. If it loads in on the screen here, there it is. And also in 2021, right? So they're cyclically relevant lines which are defining Bitcoin support and resistance zones throughout the last 7 months. They are not meaningless. They are very, very meaningful. And the fact of the matter is, even though Bitcoin's price has moved above its all-time high, the structure says that we're still in the same position we were back here at 108,000 in December and back here at 110,000 in January, meaning that although we've broken all-time highs in the price chart, we have not actually cleared the macro range that is relevant in order for us to see a proper macro breakdown. We're not in the clear yet, a macro breakout, sorry. And to be in the clear, we'd have to cross above 114K. Now, with this said, we haven't done nothing on this move. We've done some pretty good stuff. One of the very good things we've done, in fact, there's 2 of them, is we've broken above, or at least short-term broken above, this very long-term, stemming backwards from 2011, ascending support and resistance line on Bitcoin, best viewed on higher timeframes. You can see on higher timeframes like the 2-week chart that interactions with this line have been precise, very few fake outs. Every time we touch it, we do something, we bounce, we reject. When we break out, it leads to a major move 9 times out of 10. Okay, that line is actually being broken above right now in this move. That's a very, very good sign. It's a very good step in the right direction, and it does indicate that this move does have some virality behind it and possibly does have some sustenance behind it. Another thing we've done, which is very, very good, is we've broken below the USDT charts, and that's the USDT dominance charts, ascending support line. Now, this chart is reverse correlated to Bitcoin. Think about this for a second. USDT dominance. USDT dominance rising means that people are selling their assets for USDT. So USDT dominance going downwards means that people are using USDT to buy assets. So this chart is reverse correlated to Bitcoin. We want it to go down. And that's very well demonstrated and illustrated by looking at what happened in 2021. Obviously, Bitcoin topped out in November 2021, and in November 2021, we actually bottomed out on this chart. Same thing happened in March 2021 on the double top formation we saw, or some people call it a double top formation we saw in 2021. So this chart and this red band specifically actually marked the 2021 all-time high on both occasions, at the start of the year and at the end of the year. And the fact that that line is breaking down now is very, very good, because this is a cyclical top killer, right? And we've broken below it, or we're breaking below it. It's a very, very good step in the right direction, right? But just because we've seen these two good steps in the right direction, doesn't mean we're in the clear. We're still in the same macro range, unfortunately. And we look at broader things like the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart, and we see that that's still at very strong resistance. Yes, it's a bullish structure. It's a cup formation. We can't expect it to break, but it hasn't broken yet. Okay, and we look at the DXY, again, reverse correlated to Bitcoin. That's still at major support. It looks like it's going to break down. It's testing support again for the second time in a month, but again, it hasn't quite broken yet. We look at Ethereum. We know that the critical indicators on Ethereum come from the 200-day SMA and the bull market support band. And we can see that, yes, we're breaking above the bull market support band and we've flipped it. We haven't quite broken the 200 SMA. In fact, we're consolidating between them right now, meaning we're at a crossroads. We're at a major decision point. And being at a major decision point, we haven't actually made the decision yet, right? So although we've seen good steps in the right direction and we've seen good stuff happening across the board here, we're not quite in the clear. Just because the price has exceeded all-time highs, it doesn't mean we're in a macro breakout. We will be in a macro breakout when the macro structure breaks, and that only happens at 114K, okay, above this yellow line. Additionally, it only happens when the USDT dominance chart properly breaks down, confirms the breakdown, when the total 3 breaks out, when the DXY breaks down, preferably, not mandatory, but preferably, and when Ethereum breaks 2,700, which is where the 200-day SMA is, right? When all these things occur, which, by the way, only requires another few percent move in the market, it's not a big thing to ask for, then we can be confident, okay, this is a macro breakout, and at that point, we can start discussing higher targets on Bitcoin, such as 130,000. But until that happens, I'm not super comfortable to sit here and say, oh my God, look at the move, we're starting a new move, confirmed 100%. No, that's not the case. So in terms of buying, I did a poll yesterday, and a lot of people are saying that they're buying or selling, but the vast majority of people are actually saying they're holding, right? 58% of people are saying they're holding, they haven't bought or they haven't sold much. And I do think that's probably the best move. Perhaps buying is okay in small quantities, front running the buys with stop losses. But in terms of actually confirming and waiting for the breakout before buying, that hasn't occurred yet. So major buys, in my personal view, and this is not financial advice, probably should not be happening until that occurs. Again, if you've got a high risk tolerance, you can try and front run that breakout. And look, we probably are going to break out. I do see the breakout as likely. I am macro bullish, so it wouldn't be ridiculous to front run it. But front running it with 100% of your portfolio is a very, very high risk maneuver that you would have to make that personal decision for, of course. Do I think it's the time to be selling? No, I don't. I think this is very well a holding circumstance, and potentially some buys trying to front run that breakout. But in terms of buying 100% of everything right now, I do see that as a little bit too risky. We haven't seen the confirmed macro breakout yet. I also want to mention that a short-term pullback here would not be ridiculous. Okay, we do still have a very major threat. It's not a threat in a macro sense, but it's a short-term threat of a big head and shoulders pattern, a reversed head and shoulders pattern forming here. The neckline could very well be around this 110, 112K mark. We could form a big shoulder, go down to something like 93,000 and then come back up. That's not completely out of the realm of possibility. It would be an extremely extensive correction at that point, and it would push right towards the end of the cycle, towards July maybe, and then we'd only have about 4 months left, 3 months left at that point of the cycle. But given how much we've had sweeping consolidations in this cycle, how frequent those consolidations have been, that wouldn't be ridiculous either. So we'll discuss that more tomorrow specifically. So do not be fooled by the price. Remember to look at structure. I'll give you an update on this move tomorrow. And if we do get that confirmed breakout above 114,000, then I'll discuss further targets on Bitcoin, because we are technically in price discovery, but the price discovery is not very mysterious because we do have a target right here at 114, the top of the macro range. Guys, thank you for watching so much. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel, okay? Hit the notification bell, and also check out the Bitunix Exchange. It's a global non-KYC exchange. You do not need a VPN to access it in any sort. All you need is an email address and a password. You can sign up with my referral link down below. It takes 30 seconds to sign up with that link down below, and you will get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. You're not going to get much better of a deal than that. A very good exchange, a very safe exchange, a very cheap exchange. Further, a 15% trading fee discount with my link down below. You help out the channel and you help out yourself by getting on it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you soon.